Watching Wall Street with our financial expert Rob Black. The Dow down over 100 yesterday. Pretty flat today. The Dow up 14 points. Let's talk some sexy gross domestic product numbers. GDP coming out. I like GDP numbers, Rob. So the economy's growing.
Yes.
It's not horrible. 2.4%.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Goldilocks would say 3% is good.
It's good. Okay.
4% a little bit too hot, 2% a little bit too cold. So the GDP numbers come out this morning. It will be revised one or two more times. It's past performance. It's already happened. So people like me tend not to care too much about it. It's more of a, let's look back on the year. How did we do? How did the president do? How did the economy do? Kind of situation. But it's not bad, 2.4%. Inventory, there was no inventory building, and this is where you get financially nerdy. If inventories are building, they eventually have to be sold, so we're lean on inventory. So if consumer spending picks up, we'll send people back to the factories, we'll consume more energy, they'll make more things, they'll get more paychecks. Paychecks will service the economy. So we would like to see a build of inventories after a drawdown from demand.
And what's your thoughts on jobs? We had the unemployment numbers come out, a little bit of a jump last week, and the 4-week moving average is up around 7,000. Is that a problematic, or you think we're doing okay in hiring in the country?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
That's very Goldilocks. Again, the GDP number was on the weak side. What's interesting right now is what's good news for the economy is bad news for the stock market, and what's bad news for the economy is good news for the stock market. It's all tied towards will the Fed taper or not. I'm already sick of the word taper, but it's in our lexicon now.
So I like that. If we see the market start to go down a bit, we shouldn't worry. It means our economy maybe is actually improving.
And the stock market will shift from one that's based on low-cost money and huge buybacks to one that would be based more on demand coming from the consumer and new cars and homes and having that paycheck from being well employed.
What else are you watching?
Costco, great numbers. One of a kind of company. There's an infinity to having a Costco card. Number one thing sold at Costco.
Mattresses?
Paper towels.
Paper towels.
Yeah.
Coffins? They sell coffins too now, don't they?
They do sell coffins. I myself want to be buried in the backyard in a coffee can, but that's because I'm cheap.
Good financial planning.
Priceline's announcing a huge buyback today. O'Reilly Automotive announcing a huge buyback today. That's one of the other stories. Defense contractor Lockheed Martin sequesters hitting them. They're buying back 25% of their own stock. So that's one of the reasons this market continues to hold a floor, even after a couple bad days.
Thank you, Rob. We'll check back with Rob at 9:15 for today's winners and losers on Wall Street.